What's going on, guys? This is DaWoblefet, and welcome to Mechanics Monday, a series where I pick a mechanic to analyze each week that may be underexplored or unknown to players in the VGC community. This week, we're going to be looking at various interactions involved with a move's PP in battle. While the majority of VGC matches won't see PP stalling be a relevant factor, it nevertheless can have niche impact, since many of the restricted legendary Pokemon use moves that only have 8 maximum PP. Let's start with the basics. To know if a move used PP in some situation, a good rule of thumb is to see if the Pokemon was able to declare an attack. By that I mean, if the attack comes up on the screen and it says the Pokemon used the attack, it will use PP. For example, if my Lunala's Moongeist Beam here lands into a Protect, it loses PP despite not dealing any damage. A similar thing happens if my Groudon uses Stomping Tantrum into the opposing Tornadus. The move was announced, so PP is deducted. PP is not deducted if the Pokemon is unable to declare its attack. Examples of this include taking a sleep turn, being fully paralyzed, or being picked up by Skydrop before it could declare an attack. As you can see here, neither my Groudon nor my Lunala lose PP over selecting their attacks because of the opposing Fake Out and Skydrop. Only 1 PP is deducted for each usage of an attack, even if that move hits multiple times or hits multiple Pokemon. For example, if my Kyogre here uses Water Spout, even though it technically hit 2 Pokemon, only 1 PP is deducted. On the other hand, if Water Spout is used multiple times in a turn, such as with Instruct, PP is deducted each time Kyogre uses the move. As you can see here, Kyogre only has 6 of its 8 Water Spouts remaining. After a move has run out of PP, you are no longer able to select that move. This is especially relevant for choice-locked Pokemon that are using attacks with low amounts of natural PP, like Choice Specs Lunala's Moongeist Beam. If you forgot how much PP you have left on Lunala's Moongeist Beam here and attempt to check by inputting an attack, you'll immediately be locked into struggle, and if your Lunala was in the right slot, you won't be able to cancel your attack. Instead, a safer way to check current PP is by viewing it on the bottom screen by going in like you would switch Pokemon. As you can see, you can view that Moongeist Beam has no PP left without accidentally using Struggle. Because you can't use a move with no PP, certain effects behave strangely when a Pokemon runs out of PP completely. For example, if you use Encore and lock in a Pokemon into an attack with only a handful of remaining PP, the Encore lock may break earlier than expected because the move ran out of PP. Similarly, if a move like Instruct is used in a scenario where there is only 1 PP remaining, attempting to call the second attack will result in the game saying that there's no PP left for the move. As you can see, Groudon's Stomping Tantrum isn't successful because we tried to execute it when there wasn't any PP left. Because of how Encore locks can be broken in this way, it may be advantageous to not use PP maxes on certain moves like Gravity. It's unlikely that you'll actually need the 3 extra PP on Gravity if you used a PP max in your average game of VGC, so using only 5 PP may help to escape Encore locks from Pokemon like Whimsicott in niche scenarios. When using Z moves, the base of the Z move uses up PP even though the Z move itself is executed. As a result, if an attack has no PP remaining, then it will be unable to use a Z move since there's no PP remaining for it. As you can see here, because Kyogre is all out of Water Spouts, it is unable to use Z Water Spout, and the Z move option is colored out in red. Attempting to select it won't let you do anything. The only way to get around using moves with no PP, as far as I can tell, is with a move like Sleep Talk. As you can see here, Groudon does not have any PP remaining on its attacks except for Sleep Talk. When using Sleep Talk, however, it is able to successfully call Precipice Blades, Fire Punch, or Stomping Tantrum and execute them like normal. As you might guess, in general, Sleep Talk has its PP reduced when using an attack this way, not the move called by Sleep Talk. The interaction of pressure with PP is relatively straightforward, but only once you understand what the ability actually does. In order for pressure to deduct an additional PP from some attack, the attack must have targeted the pressure Pokemon in some way. This targeting even includes moves like Trick Room, which, while being used on the whole field in some sense, technically targets every Pokemon on the field. As you can see, Bronzong lost 2 PP from Trick Room when using it in the presence of an opposing Ho-Oh, in addition to the Fire Punch. Just like with regular PP usage, if the Pokemon's attack is properly declared and targets the Pressure Pokemon, the extra PP is deducted. For example, if my Groudon here uses Precipice Blades into a Pressure Zapdos and a Tornadus, then Pressure still knocks off an extra PP from Precipice Blades for its trouble. In a similar way, if Water Spout is used into a Ho-Oh and Dialga, then Water Spout would actually lose 3 PP, 1 extra for each pressure target. However, if Kyogre here uses Protect in front of Ho-Oh and Dialga, only 1 PP is used. Remember, since Protect isn't targeting any opponents with pressure, extra PP won't be deducted. Pressure also doesn't reduce extra PP if the pressure Pokemon is your partner. So, for example, if I use Tailwind here with Pavilion beside my partner Dialga, despite Tailwind targeting both Pavilion and Dialga, then Pavilion still only uses 1 PP from Tailwind like it normally would. Interestingly enough, the Mold Breaker effects do not ignore pressure when it comes to reducing PP. For example, if my Lunala uses Moongeist Beam into the opposing Ho-Oh here, it will lose 2 PP from Moongeist Beam, despite Moongeist Beam having the Mold Breaker effect. In a similar way, if Reshiram uses Fusion Flare into Ho-Oh, despite having Turbo Blaze, it too will lose 2 PP on Fusion Flare. Finally, PP cannot ever be a negative number. For example, if my Groudon here with 1 PP left on Precipice Blades uses the attack into a Ho-Oh and Zapdos, it is left with 0 PP, not -2. You can see this demonstrated with the Leppa Berry item, which will restore Precipice Blades back to 10 PP instead of 8 or something like that. And that's all for this week's Mechanics Monday. While I think most players have a good grasp on the fundamentals of how PP behaves in Pokemon, some of the more niche scenarios go undiscovered by the average player until they happen to come along in that position themselves. Because your time exists, PP stall wars are not impossible, so being aware of some of the more basic mechanics of how PP works can help you be more thoroughly prepared for those scenarios. Did you learn anything new about interactions with Move PP today? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, have a good one.